Shame on my daddy, shameful heart beaten. I said shame on my daddy, shameful heart beaten. My daddy left his lady, and he left his baby son. My name's Bob Woolford, but some of you may know me as Baz Williams, the author of the book Terra Nova OSS. So why would I live in the bush like Waltzing Matilda? Not long ago I served this summons on the Attorney General. Both South Australia, with its own wonderful constitution of 1885, and Sir Edmund's monstrosity, otherwise known as the Federation of Australia, also with its own constitution of 1901, they both exist by the consent of the Lords Spiritual and the Lords Temporal and the Lords Common and the Queen. So anyway, how do we live, the free men of the colony? Well, first you have to put this hand on a Bible in front of the Justice of the Peace and say, swear the truth. All you do is, as I did in February 2006, you put this hand on a Bible and you say, I swear there is no Commonwealth upon the continent of Australia. He signs a piece of paper to that effect, you sign it, post it to the Governor sends you a letter back, bingo, free man. But if you ever hold out your hand for money, that would turn me back into a federal citizen. So anyway, here we are in the beautiful bush, the great Australian bush that my grandfather grew up in 1900, that my mother grew up in 1945. And hasn't changed a bloody bit, has it? Let's have a walk around Bob's filing cabinet. What have we in this drawer? Struth. It's a Canon MP150 photocopier. Now with that, we couldn't possibly make books, could we? But how do you run a photocopier in the great Australian bush? Well, come with me. The only way to be a proper Australian is not to be Australian at all. Come on. Struth. It's a 12 volt, 3.4 amp hour battery. Now that'll run that photocopier for long enough to print 12 books, which I can sell on the street for $50. Now that's not bad for a person who lives in the bush like an Aborigine. This is how we live. You breathe in, you breathe out, and you manufacture. You manufacture goods. You don't actually need a factory even. All you need is the ability, old son, to manufacture. So this is how it's done. The government doesn't want to see you living in a tent, so don't let them see. And we may consider this to be, quite officially, for the moment at least, the headquarters of Underground Press. Nothing wrong with a campfire, is there, eh? Totally Australian, or should I say, yes, totally continent of Australian. You can burn, if it's the right one, and I think it is, you can burn it even when it's sopping wet. You put one match under it and bang, she's off. John Howard's opposed to killing children, but killed more than 1 million of them, which is not the way we define love in the colony. Come on, Dave, you could have done better than that, mate. Post you had a pamphlet you can't even bloody burn. Now that's the New World Order for you all over, I'm afraid. Here we go. Everything burnt, as the US Secretary of War, Donald Rumsfeld, so aptly put it, everything blows up in the long run. I'm going to show you how to refill one of these cartridges with black food colouring for 94 cents. I've printed 4.5 million pages on food colouring, works just fine. Get a hacksaw blade, put it down the side of the felt, pour your food colouring down the side. That's all you do. Grab the cans I collected yesterday. Well, you can't protect yourself from exposure without a tent and sleeping bag, so that and a few other important things are safely underground. Let's dig them out. Here we have, never mind the dust, typewriter. I mean, Sir Edmund Hillary lived like this. Provided you're on the face of Mount Everest, you're a bloody hero, but if you're on the side of the road on the very edge of a city, there must be something wrong with you. This morning we're having mushrooms on toast. If you ever go in bush, don't take a knife, take a hacksaw blade. You can't cut down a tree with a steak knife, but you can cut a steak with a hacksaw blade. What would happen if we cashed in the bottles and we kept the cans? When you crack an egg into a normal egg ring, sometimes the yolk's over here, sometimes the yolk's over there, and when you put it on the bread, the corners of your bread don't have any egg on them, right? So this invention, it's got a slightly raised yolk holder in the middle. You crack your egg into the middle, the yolk stays in the middle, and the white spreads out to become square. So when you put it on your toast, every bite of toast has got egg on it, and the yolk stays perfectly in the middle. This was actually hand cast under a tree from 40 beer cans by the heat of a wood fire.
No matter how sick they make our babies, they still program us to love our babies.
Well, they haven't programmed us to love them very well.
Well, not enough to actually want them. It's just that once we've had them, they try to talk us into loving them.
And the idea that baby is better off dead, so that's an act of love.
Yeah, that's true.
Doesn't work. Can't see it. Can't see it. Because it's only a setup for let's love the Prime Minister as well. Let's print some books. Turn her on. Don't want to get a gum leaf in the middle of the page.
Whoops.
This is the next page to do. I've run 4.5 million sheets through a photocopy of this way in the last 2 years.
Arseholes.
Yeah, so in a week I picked up 800 bottles and cans. I took my friend's advice and I got myself a new copier. City Bush Tucker. Here we have it. This is an acquired skill to get it just right, but with a bit of practice you can get this cut quite precise. The average person wouldn't be able to tell any difference between a machine cut and a cut made by that method. Bloody lovely, isn't it? So, of course, we've done this process, I think I've done this 60,000 times in the last 2 years. To give the book a nice straight edge, and for that reason when we're first assembling the books, they can be cut rough as guts because they've all got to be cut a second time. Well, got $90 worth of books printed, so best we go and sell them. Not to worry. Right, that pads it. No success thus far. It's a Dinkamozzie story about a dunny in the desert. It's got a funny ending and they're only $4 if you'd like a good read.
Okay.
It's a bit of a comedy and my 9th book.
Okay, let me have a look. So I've got $4 around.
Thank you, and I hope you enjoy it. Beautiful day, isn't it? It's been another fairly long day. We've covered some miles, sold some books, printed some books, collated some books, put the tent up again. And it's time for a smoke as the sun goes down.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Right.
Don't have a bloody shave, I've lost my mirror. It's a Dinkamozzie story about a dunny in the desert.
All right.
It's got a bit of a funny ending and they're only $4 if you'd like a good read.
No, thank you.
Very few people home on this street. Basically, if you don't use photocopiers anymore, then you don't need electricity or a photocopier. That's what we're aiming for. It'll save me $3,000 a year. It's only because I can show you, in the year 2007, real Australian money, that this documentary makes any sense. People in Australia who earn less than $9,000 a year don't have to pay tax. Well, which $9,000 a year are we talking about? All our lives we've been used to seeing old coins from the year 1968 and earlier. But I challenge any person in Australia to look through their pocket. If you can find even a single one of those old coins today, I'll be amazed, because personally, out of all the thousands of coins that have gone through my pockets in the last 2 months, I've only seen one old coin.